Hello everyone, this is a special evening edition of Andy's Free Guitar Chart videos. Welcome to my YouTube subscribers and to my Facebook group friends. And anyone who's found this video, please like and subscribe and share and enjoy the lesson. Today we have chart number 340 and I'm going to be focusing on modal CCAGEED, not caged, but CCAGEED, which of course does contain the word caged. So we will be using the caged concept. That's why I have the old caged fretboard here and the new long pattern modal shapes with the cutouts. Why are the cutouts important? The cutouts are important because they allow us to exploit the open strings. When we exploit the open strings, let's look at the first box here. Doesn't matter what key it is, it's just what it is. So we're looking at the E box here. When we exploit the open strings, this says root down there, it got kind of cut off a little. The B string is going to go back to the previous string that would hypothetically be below this one. So it would be the string shape fourth. String shape fourth of E is the A string shape. The A string shape is 5/6. The E string shape is 7√2. The E long string shape is E√2/3. And that's a modal Aeolian scale if you start it from the open string. So if E is down here, the E string is a root, it'd be an E scale. With my guitar, I'm down tuned to C, so the low root is C. Go root 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. Gotta be careful with the open strings. 3, 4. Now instead of going 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, which is the double cage shape, really, I mean part of or most of the E shape, tripentatonic, EAC shaped, okay, which we can do up here, EA, and then like a C shaped E there, a B there, okay. Instead of play away, which you have on the chart before, we have the play away for root 2, 3. You see it's a bigger cage, okay? It's a bigger cage because we go 3, 4 instead of going back for 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3. We go 3, 4, 5 up here and play away to 6, 7 root and just build our P4 pattern from there, continuing with that P4 pattern. So what is the pattern there? The pattern is right here. So if we go root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to go 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. And when we hit the B string, we have to move everything up 1 fret. With the cutouts, okay, so here's your regular E box here. 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's E cross A cross C like we just played, with the C-shaped B, 2, 5, 7, 2, 5, 7, key of E, okay, so the 5 is the B. So let's look up here. I mostly work in the key of C. It doesn't matter. Here's your strings. Here's E, A, D, G, B, E. That's where your guitar is tuned. So we do the cutout. Instead of doing 3, 4, 5 here, we just go 3, 4 and count a 5, 6, 7 string shape from here and a root 2, 3. And that's how they all work. But what is the subject of today's lesson is these modal familiar action fingered chords. So what does all this mean? And this is the interesting part, and we want to focus on this. So I'm going to crop this up, back it up a little bit so we can look at it. We've got E root 2/3. Well, it's obvious. This says root 2/3. Sorry about the line there. I was trying to get a way to focus on this, and I found it's better just to crop it out, right? So here's our E root 2/3. That's why it's called root 2/3. It's the bottom string scale fragment of the Ionian scale with a capo or a fret nut here, so that our open string is the root. Okay? Now, we got two different ways of depicting the chords involved. So I thought it would be a good idea to go 1, 4, 5. So it's an E-shaped 1 with a D and a C minor shaped relative minor. So that would be the 6th minor. An A-shaped 4 with an E minor shaped relative to the 4th, which is the 2nd minor. An A-shaped 5, 2, 5, 7 up here. So here's your root 4, 6 here, 2, 5, 7 here, 5 root 3 there is your E shape. Okay, and then let's just look at this A shape here. Now the trick is, whenever you want to go to something's relative minor, you just advance the CAGEED word by one letter, and then make that a minor, a small lowercase. So if you have an A shape 2, 5, 7 here, just advance in the word CAGEED, C-A-G. We're going to go to a G-shaped relative minor off of the 5th, and that 5th is G mixolydian kind of thing, G in the key of C. So we're going to be looking at the 3rd minor. So that's the 5 major, and advance the CAGEED letter 1, and we get the shape, the chord shape, action fingers. Okay, so the chord shape is 3, 5, 7, and G minor and G major are always in root. So if it's a 3 minor, it's going to be 3, 5, 7, right there. Action fingers there. So in the root box, we have E-shaped 1, A-shaped 4th, and A-shaped 5th, and then right down there we have 3, 5, 7, 3. Okay, that's a G minor arpeggiated triad right there. So that's how you determine easily what the 6th of the 3 majors is. It's one CAGEED letter advanced lowercase, so it'll be minor. Does it check with what's above here? In the Ionian box, E-shaped 1, A-shaped 4, and a D-shaped 5 there, an A-shaped 5 in the D box. So it's in the E box, an E-shaped 1, 5 root 3. In the A box, which is next door to it, still in the E box rather, we have the A, root 4, 6 for the 4th. And then in the D box, which is the next traditional CAGEED position up, we have another A shape here. So we have root 4, 6, and then we have 2, 5, 7. Like that. In the D box, that's the 5, that's the 4, and that's the 1 major. So that's the format for the Ionian box and for all the boxes that we're going to be looking at today. So let's look a little bit at some of these legends here. Pentatonic subs format, 1 and its 6th, 4 and its 6th, 5 and its 6 is the 3rd minor, the minor of the 4th is the 2nd. And then we have the half diminished. We follow this line up here, and that's this format right here. Okay, majors and minors and the half diminished. The other format, I have it, is right here kind of thing. It's called